about how to run the country. That might be a better way of living.
Yeah.
Forrest, can we introduce the candidates, please?
Sixth President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Folks, how are you? Great to be here. Thank you.
And please welcome the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Let's begin the debate, and let's start.
Okay, we're going to start a debate here, and we'll see how it goes. The one thing I want to mention, though, is that heading into the debate, Joe Biden has had a lot of things, a lot of accomplishments. You have inflation hovering about 3% or under. Unemployment is 4% or under. He's passed the infrastructure bill. He's helped to stop the Roe v. Wade abortion mess in some of the states. And now we have, he's got a lot to be thankful for and to espouse to the American people. And I'm sure during this debate, he will do it. Can you roll clip number 2, please, Forrest?
Inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then now costs more than $120. And typical home prices have jumped more than 30%. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president, what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do is try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs. We brought out the position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. But there's more to be done. There's more to be done. Working class people are still in trouble. I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I come of a household where the kitchen table, if the things weren't able to be met during the month, it was a problem. Price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of housing, the price of a whole range of things. That's why I'm working so hard to make sure I deal with those problems. And we're going to make sure that we reduce the price of housing. We're going to make sure we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure we cap rents so corporate greed can't take over. The combination left within corporate greed is the reason why we're in this problem right now. In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos, literally chaos. And so we put things.
President Biden, inflation has slowed, but price.
Wow, the energy that boy has. What's wrong with his voice? How come he must have a frog in his throat? What else you got for us, Forrest?
Hold on, before you move on, I wanted to say that it's outrageous that he'd say, we're going to fix this housing problem when it's happened all on his watch. What's he been doing the last 4 years?
Well, housing, it's not all under his watch. It's like a 40-year thing that's been going on, you know. The landlords holding real estate and shit to artificially drive up the price.
Promises that he's going to make about his next term sound silly when he's like complaining about problems we're having in his first term.
It does. Yeah, no.
What do you got next there, Forrest?
Well, I got a bit of the only thing I can describe this as is a bit of a brain reset.
Okay.
Things we need to do: child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look,
spit it out, Jack.
We finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat.
Oh, you cut that off there, buddy. So that
We're gonna
was,
have to watch the whole clip if we want to watch that end bit again.
yeah.
I really want to know what
He beat
Trump was gonna
Medicare.
Well, yeah, that's true. They beat Medicare. They killed it. What else?
What was he trying to say? Where was he going
don't
with
know
we
what-
beat Medicare?
I don't know what he thought he was saying with that.
But
I really
Trump sure came in with a good line at the end of that was, yeah, you beat it to death or something like that. You beat Medicare, Joe. All right. What's the
Like,
next?
that's the thing is Trump here, man, he's not delivering a fire debate performance. He just looks way better compared to the dead guy that he's standing next to.
No, less is more with Trump. Totally get that.
Yeah.
You know, he was very reserved, and that's because they had a mute button on him. So that was awesome for Trump.
But I will say, beat it to death is not particularly clever or funny.
No, he just repeated the thing Joe Biden said.
Yeah.
You fucked up.
You know the thing. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't even make sense in any context. He was literally trying to kill Medicare during his presidency. Like he was trying to chop off the ACA, which is what got a lot of people their care.
Well, I think Biden got confused. He meant to say he beat COVID, I think. Is what he tried.
Well, why not say that? Why go to Medicare? Why say Medicare? It's insane. The man's demented. But let's carry on.
I thought maybe he was saying like we saved Medicare. He meant to say we saved Medicare from the Republic. I don't know. I have no idea.
I hear
Got
that.
us out of COVID, you say?
Yeah. What's your next
Fucking
clip
good.
there, buddy?
But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country. But other than that, we had given them back a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for legal immigrants and bounce back jobs, a bounce back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing.
Bounce back from the COVID.
That's a good line. I hadn't heard
I
bounce
mean-
back jobs before. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good thing to me. I don't know. I think that. Whatever.
Right.
And the stock market right now is as high as it's ever been. He doesn't
Like,
exactly
bounce back
say
sounds-
that.
Well, Trump's past financial guru in the White House said that Biden's done a great job. So go figure.
Well, that's why they got to talk about immigrants and stuff, because he really can't talk
Right.
about the economy or unemployment.
Or any accomplishments of his entire administration.
Yeah. Well,
There's
inflation,
nothing there.
right. Unemployment
there's-
was pretty high for Trump, right? Based on COVID, I guess.
Almost 20%. It's like,
Did we just lose Forrest?
Oh no, he'll be back, I'm sure.
Well, it's pretty hard to do a show when he's got all the clips, right? So
Well, there's one of two for us, right?
can you show
Yeah,
the
there's a
next
second.
clip for us? There we go.
Sorry about that. I dropped.
That's fine.
Oh, that's all right.
Here's some
the-
migrant talk.
What's your next clip there?
Many young women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world, considered the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country.
This
And
isn't
they
gonna
are
play.
raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting. In many cases, it's frankly a very liberal decision. In many cases,
You know, I got to admit, Joe does not look good there. Was staring over at Donald.
he never does this whole
Just
time.
not a good look, buddy.
Catching flies.
And when you say the border, I don't know who's buying that. Like, you can make up shit about the border being invaded and talk about rapists and murderers coming across the border. Fine, your dumbass followers are going to believe you. But how can you say it's the most dangerous place in the world and have anyone believe you?
Well, definitely not like, I don't think undecided voters. I think it's only a hardcore core Republicans that are going to buy most of what he was putting forth. Like it is.
That's what's the thing is like
he's not
anything-
appealing to anybody. Like Biden looks like shit, but Trump is not appealing to anybody here.
But any of
It's-
those.
Go
Sorry,
ahead, Jake. Go ahead.
I was gonna say anyone who's like turned off by that wouldn't be voting for him anyway. So it's like, doesn't really matter what he says.
That's true.
It kind of doesn't.
Because like
Well, I'm
Joe
glad-
Biden, on the other hand, can lose voters. He can lose votes based on that. But Trump, on the other hand, he will not lose any votes based on that. I don't know if he'll gain any, but he's definitely not going to people be like, oh wow, I didn't know he felt like that about immigrants. Fuck that guy. Like everyone knows.
Well, younger people will. Younger people don't know some of his stuff from the election. Like brand new voters this year don't remember that based on some polling. I don't remember from whom, but
And as far as I know, we're still putting kids in cages. So what's changed?
Very good point. Another clip there for us.
So yeah, I didn't have a title for this one. I'm just gonna let Biden speak for himself.
Since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we have the safest.
Okay, that
Yep.
was good. That was good.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Biden got owned right there.
Like Trump could have said that at any point during the debate, and it would have.
I wouldn't disagree with you, Jake, but I'm saying like he dropped that one at a proper time. He really like the whole room was like, I don't know what Grandpa's talking about over here. But one man, Donald Trump looks in control of his faculties. When he speaks, he sounds like he can speak. Joe Biden, I hear his death rattles with every word he utters.
Yeah, Joe Biden kind of only sounds alive when you get him pissed off about his son. Luckily,
Loser was not
You
a
have a
sucker.
clip of that?
You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taking better care. I'm so glad this came out and he brought
Who
it up.
would?
There's nobody
say
that's taking
that?
better care of our soldiers than I.
You're a real fucking asshole.
yeah. I wonder if over the next couple months, that's going to be a thing that people check and then like confirm.
Nothing
Yeah.
that Trump says is going to get checked or confirmed against
Checked or confirmed.
He's a cult of personality. I will say though, he looked flustered there. Did not answer that well. It is a fight of two elderly, feeble men, but one of them looks alive and still has 5 years in him, and the other one looks like he died last year.
Friggin'
I don't know.
America.
I think this might be the case where people will vote for a corpse. It's not the first time in American history that that's happened in a literal sense. Like,
Well, yeah, maybe. Sorry.
like people literally voted for a dead person over a Republican not that long ago. Like maybe
I think this
Oh,
Son,
news.
Hold on,
Who was in
Forrest.
Russia
I have
this-
to pin you, okay, buddy? Just hold on.
I do think this debate sealed Biden's fate. He lost 5 critical percentage points in swing areas that are going to be. I'm just making that number up, but I'm like, it looked to me decisive. You have one guy who's alive, the other guy who's dead, and that's enough to cost you the election.
But what month is this?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and
A lot of
how many more
like
do we
that's-
But
have?
I don't think Biden's going to look more alive. I
He
think
looked
that's when
more
they.
alive 20 minutes
I think he
after
will.
the debate,
No,
or even
I
10
think
minutes
that,
after the debate.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
forget
they held this.
there's a September
Go ahead.
debate.
Yeah.
There's another
I
debate.
don't think there will be. I
Yeah.
think they, after this performance, I think they will shit can that.
Wow. I'm sure you got a more energetic clip for us, don't you?
Bring back Biden.
Came
Not
from the
during this
Sun
fucking
Hunter.
debate.
It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
You should actually apologize to me right
Someone
now.
who's on our staff.
You
I'm
can kiss my
asking-
ass, Jack.
Period.
I'm
That's
asking for
number
an
one.
apology,
And number
Trump.
two,
That's
the
a
idea-
version of Trump
the
that doesn't
idea that I have
exist
to
outside of
apologize
there.
to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history. And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever.
Oh,
That's
It
what
gets
they're
worse.
doing now.
But he didn't mention what the problem with the VA under Trump, which is a big thing. And
I think Trump asking
totally
for an
dropped that.
apology looks kind of weak.
it does, but
Like,
it's
it looks-
irrelevant because the guy
he
who
should-
followed
he
him
should-
up looks dead.
I really don't. I mean, I agree with you. I just disagree with how undead Trump also looks. I mean, in this, in this debate, I don't know. Obviously, like Biden sounded like shit. I didn't think Trump was great. That's all.
No, but he was subdued, right? And
He doesn't.
He was better.
yeah,
He was better.
yeah.
He doesn't have to.
He did.
He's like everything.
Yeah, it
he
doesn't
said was
matter
a
what he
lie.
says.
He's full of shit, but it doesn't matter. What mattered
Right.
is there's one guy who looks like he's not going to die tomorrow, and one guy who looks like he died yesterday. I can't be more clear about this. Joe Biden looks like a dead man. Dead man, not alive. He is dead, gone, finito. He is passed on. He's over the rainbow bridge. He's over. Joe Biden is worm food. He's toast. He's a dead man.
What are
And
you
dead
trying
men-
to
But that's
say,
not,
Rick?
I really
What are
don't
you
think
trying to
one
say?
debate is gonna swing an election.
The more you,
I don't think honestly, like one debate.
the more
really
you say it,
is-
Rick, the less I feel like it's true.
Well,
Like,
because
I mean,
like
like-
if you take the two of them, you can take the two of them side by side, like on different times, and you know, Biden looks
But they were
better on
side.
Sundays.
They were
It's
side by
just-
side
it's
since
just-
last night in front of the biggest audience that's going to bother watching this bullshit. And one man came across looking alive, and the other one didn't. And it doesn't matter that Joe Biden 20 minutes later or today looks okay. It doesn't. Nobody's seeing that stuff. The only people who
I
are
don't
seeing it are people who want to pat themselves on the back and be like, well, Joe Biden is going to be okay. He's not. He needs to step down if the Democrats want any chance to win this.
Always
Well,
not good.
Now, I don't think we're at a point where anybody else is going to win this.
Then it's
Wait,
over.
You gonna sub in somebody for whom?
I
Which
really don't
voters?
think people are going
Trump
to.
is
Fine,
not-
don't sub him out.
I don't think
I
Trump
don't
is
remember.
gaining anybody, and he still has to contend with the RFK vote that's being siphoned off.
Well,
Which is
put
not
it this way: what you got to Americans have to ask themselves is: it better to vote for a corpse or Donald Trump, right? And in this case, the corpse might be better.
Well, no, it's like I
If
would
you put
say
it like that, yeah.
I would say, like, in terms of policy, of course, Joe Biden is going to be less damaging than Donald Trump.
Mhm.
But
But it
that's
doesn't
not how
matter.
people vote. People
Right.
don't vote on that. They like you got angry people in certain swing counties who are going to vote for the guy who doesn't look like he's dead. And there you go.
Mm.
I just don't think people like will honestly remember this
I
like,
think
2 months from now. I don't know. People just seem to forget everything that happened last month, and then like people like when you do polling and shit, people believe what's you would expect them to believe based on their political alignment. You know what I mean?
This is
When I
way-
ask Joe Q Public what they think of Joe Biden, I'm gonna get virtually one answer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Everyone is going to be like, "Fuck that guy."
They're going to say he's too old. That's what they're going to say. That's That's what he's known for.
You got another clip for us, Forrest?
Oh yeah. How do you guys feel about
this?
He said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years.
Wow. Okay, that's not
because he had such sway with Hamas. Is that what he said? Because he was in good with those guys, so he would have talked them out of it. Is that what I don't know.
That could be.
I think Trump's philosophy there is sort of a Madman Nixon philosophy, where like they won't attack because they don't know what I'm gonna do. Ooh.
That's not true though.
That's just paternalistic posturing out of Trump, which is kind of his default mode. He's saying that because he's such a big tough man that he is scarier, even though he's
scarier.
He's
scarier.
publicly
I scare him
and repeatedly was licking Putin's boots and saying he was a very tough man, and of the things that people will remember about Trump, it's that he was super soft about anything that Putin did and was scared to say anything negative about him.
Well, that's what
at least for the politically invested.
That's a very good point, Wolfie. I've forgotten how much
that's what that was about. You know, withholding funds to Ukraine.
Yeah, good point. I just don't know. I don't know that people remember, but I think it's a good point.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people won't, but I think that as this goes on, this debate is going to end up being a lot of focusing on what Trump said. And Biden
because it makes better clicks.
And even here, even with as bad as Biden looks, he's starting at a low point. And I don't know that he'll get better per se, but the bar is now set really low for Biden, and Trump's bar is the same. And it's been the same since 2016. He just is all over the place, and people know.
Well, he's never won a majority of votes, as you know. He's never so he's not popular.
That's what makes all this so infuriating. You know,
he's not popular. Joe Biden isn't popular either. But Donald Trump isn't popular, but he doesn't need to be. He just needs to play the electoral college game. That's it.
Yeah.
Like Republican actually won the most votes for president, and I don't know how long.
No, that's happened. No, it's in all of the presidential elections since the year 2000. A Republican has won the popular vote one time.
Was it Trump?
No, it was Bush in 04.
Not Trump.
No, Trump lost by 3 million votes in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also it's not like in 04 it was completely uncontested either. So yeah.
Good point. So what's next on the playlist for us?
Going back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together have spent $100 billion, or maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them and say, you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any. They were going out of business. We were spending almost 100%.
Going out of business.
It was paid.
Boy,
he sounds like regular Trump there, regular Trump.
Yeah. Well, actually, if Trump just could remain stable and muted and stuff, that'll go a long way towards his election.
I really think that. Sorry, Walter. I really think that muting the mics really only helps Trump. Also,
it really did. I think
it was Biden's people who pushed for that.
Totally.
Because
they thought they were going to be like, we'll shut him up and he won't be able to snark at our candidate. And it was the stupidest move they ever made. And it's not that I think Trump didn't know that. He probably would have never fought for that in a million years. But Sam Cedar knew it. He said it ahead of time. He knew that this was a fuck up on the Biden campaign part.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's true. He did. He did know that beforehand.
And Joe,
But yeah, it's totally. Sorry.
Joe had 7 days of training prior to this debate, and I don't think Trump took 1 day of training, right?
Training.
Oh,
He's like, I was born to fight. That's how he feels.
Yeah.
he definitely still has people that are around to corral him in regards to what he focuses on. But like he doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, is it Stephen
follow
Miller?
that.
Stephen Miller.
I don't know if he's still
Yeah.
Stephen Miller's still working for him. He might be.
I think so. That's where a lot of this
about it.
Like all this immigration thing, I've been watching it for like a year now. The Republicans have decided this is going to be the issue they're going to push because they don't have anything else to fight on. So they've got this made up immigration thing. And Trump doesn't know that by watching. He doesn't listen to the fucking radio or watch the news. No, he doesn't do that. Somebody made sure he understood this is your talking point this year. I think.
But yeah, and I don't know if it's like an official capacity, but he has like written things for him and stuff.
Right.
Like
That's the kind of in the weeds stuff that used to be proliferated by Twitter much better. I'm sure there's an article all about it that nobody knows.
All right. What's next on your hit parade, Forrest?
Well, to be fair to Biden, he is a little bit more awake in this clip.
Okay.
You got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact.
Can you
on
pause
them.
it? Yeah, just looking at that clip, I would ask Joe, are you having a stroke? Grandpa, great grandpa, are you having a stroke? He looked like it was in a seizure.
Back it up.
Okay.
Yeah, back it up.
Go ahead and play
You
it.
got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over 100.
Why does Biden look like that? He doesn't need to be looking like that.
Well, he looks like.
At least he's looking.
You remember when
He looks confused.
He's not.
You remember when
the
they
camera.
took? You remember when they took the mask off of Darth Vader? That's what.
Oh my god!
Oi.
And it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them as far as Israel and Hamas. Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one who wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
What do you mean he's become like a Palestinian?
I've never heard so much foolishness. This is
Let's
a
hear
guy
it.
who wants to get out of NATO. You're going to stay in NATO? He's going to pull out of NATO. The idea that we have, our strength lies in our alliances as well. It may be a big ocean, but we're ever able to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe? What happens if, in fact, you have Putin continue to go into NATO? We have an Article 5 agreement, attack on one of.
He's getting all. You got to ask these people to put up.
Wow. And like Joe could bring out some good points, but he doesn't articulate them or have any energy towards his good points here, eh?
That's the thing, and that's why it also doesn't matter what he says.
Right.
Because like anyone who's going to hear that and maybe be swayed by it is going to tune out as soon as he starts talking. And he's like, look, for a lot of at least the beginning, he was looking in the wrong direction and everything. He was just like looking at all the cameras and shit.
Yeah, and his mouth was open.
Yeah, and so he was like talking to the camera, but the wrong camera for a lot of it.
I saw 1 minute live of this debate, and it was the final minute of it. And I walked in looking at Joe Biden and Donald Trump next to each other, saying some final things, mostly Joe Biden. And as soon as Joe Biden was done talking, I says, Joe Biden not only lost the debate, he lost the election, he lost his life. He's a dead man. And I don't know how, like, parsing the stupid shit that they talk about is irrelevant. Sorry. One guy's dead, one guy's alive. That's that.
Okay, but no one's going to remember this in 2 months. You might remember it. No one, all the people you're talking about.
I remember the $600 Joe Biden owes me.
Okay, I remember the 2,000 Trump owes me. Don't even start on that bullshit. But fucking, no one's going to remember that. No one's going to remember this debate. Like, some people will, but I don't think, like you have one
It
debate.
feeds into the narrative.
I don't think it
I think
means
does-
anything either way.
Tell us what
I
you
think
really
it
It
does.
feeds the narrative, but the
I
narrative
think
is
it
gonna
feeds
like
the
generate
narrative that
itself
Joe
regardless.
Biden is a demented old fool. I think this just fed that poured gasoline on
But
that.
we had this and almost nobody brought this up. We were talking about it before either. Is that everybody was having the same conversation about Joe 4 years ago. Now, granted, it isn't 4 years ago, but it was while he was still just a primary candidate. He wasn't even certified like as the presidential candidate, and like
He shouldn't have been by rights. He shouldn't
yeah,
have been
I
a
agree.
candidate.
I don't like it's not the thing that I want. It's not, but like he still sailed in there with everything against him last time.
COVID
And the
cost.
options, yes, but the options are the
Yeah.
same again.
Yeah.
If something
And
bad
like,
happens, having Trump in office is an existential threat to a lot of people. We got Roe v.
Yep.
Wade, we got
But
immigration,
again, I think
we
people
got
forget about 2020.
wars. We've got wars that we're dealing with like actively. And
You know what
just
people
got brought up
remember?
in the debate, and Trump is just talking about paying for them. And other countries
what
not
people
paying
do
for
Oh,
them.
you got to
remember?
make them pay. They got to pay.
They remember getting that check in the mail with Trump's signature on it. They do remember that.
I still have that check.
Yeah, and
I
then
never got a
almost-
fucking check.
almost
I'm
never
pissed.
getting another one.
That's
I'm
fucked up,
fucking
Jake.
pissed
And
that I never got one. So I don't want to
their
hear
friends,
it.
their friends and family are dead.
Yeah. We can
Yeah,
hope.
Like-
that doesn't make up for it.
Like
and
Joe
I don't know if
Biden.
people
If
were
they
able
have
to compartmentalize.
if they have any sense like on the greater like run for the presidential candidate, they're gonna be like, Trump got millions of people killed worldwide. Period. And
They
that's what they should
do.
focus on.
That's what it should be. The line
Yeah,
should be.
that's a great point, Wolfie.
But I don't
Instead,
think,
though,
Who knows?
you know what? I'm convinced Joe Biden's visiting Beau Biden.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you saying? He's old?
Okay.
Are you
Do we
saying
have any
Biden's
more clips
old?
there for us?
Rick is saying he's dead.
I don't know.
Yeah, they.
You'll be dead.
Well, Biden gets asked.
I
I
thought
don't
you just
like
meant
Biden
he
you,
was
gets
Irish.
asked
streaming.
the obvious question about his age, and he has a wonderful reply it's basically just I used to be young.
Oh man. Audio.
Audio. Oh, right. Okay, give me 1 second.
I feel bad for the poor people who are watching this live. Like,
You. President Biden,
There you go.
let's turn to concerns that voters have about each of you. President Biden, you would be
Needs to
86
stop.
at the end of your second term.
Just
How do you
say that.
address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent. I think that just look at the record. Look at what I've done. Look how I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 15 million
Oh,
new
God.
jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs, more investment.
I used to be young.
Okay, well, let's put this
Hey,
in.
tell you something else.
Hold on, let's put this in
1965.
context here. 1970, Joe Biden became a county assemblyman. 1972, he became a senator. So he's been in office that long, since 1972, at the highest levels of government.
Can you,
No.
how old
that's not
How
true.
was he?
He
That's
took those 4 years off when Trump was president. He wasn't doing shit then.
he really wasn't.
I think he was. I think
Okay.
he offered up a
4 years
fist
off,
fight
big deal.
or a push-up contest, didn't
Mhm.
he?
I don't know if
No,
he
your point.
technically won that. Wilkie, that's still in dispute.
No, I don't know.
Your point's
Huh?
taken, Walter. That like, yeah, he's been in government, since Richard Nixon was in his first term.
Oh yeah, for sure. Or his second term.
Bill Clinton's still younger than both of these guys.
Ah,
Oh,
so what else you
we
got
want-
for us?
All
we want
Democrats.
him back.
They destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give you a minute.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now. The fact of the matter is, what he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on up in Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who were convicted, deserves to.
Wow. Wowie. So that was actually a good response from Joe. I just wished it was louder and more vibrant, right? You know.
Yeah, and don't worry, Trump got a response in too.
Did he?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before we get to that, I want to hold on. Before we get to that, I want to say that though he brings up like the January 6th rioters and how they got what they deserved, the next day the Supreme Court, like the Supreme Court undermined all those fucking cases today. So,
Sure.
Way to blow it, Joe.
It's a moot point, yeah. But I still think even bringing that up, I think that's dumb.
All right, Forrest, I'm sorry I interrupted you. What do you say?
Well, Trump's response to that is just basically, no, you.
Felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death caused at the border, telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion.
Trump learned that one phrase.
Having to do with this. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system.
I did nothing wrong.
Disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you,
This
President.
looks That looks
He's like
so
a Karen.
bad.
He's like an angry Karen, like getting kicked out of a movie theater.
Yeah, it's something
that
else.
sounds terrible.
Something else, yeah.
He's a baby. He's a man baby. But he's going to beat Trump, excuse me, he's going to beat Biden because Biden is no longer he's no longer a man or baby or anything.
No longer of this earth.
Yeah, he's
I guess old men kind of revert into babies in a way. It's the way I've always thought of it.
Sure.
Okay. What else you got there for us? You got one more?
Oh, I got a lot more.
Well, I don't know if I want to go through them all.
Idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one. Number two, the idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our
good
history
point,
spoke
Joe.
like that before. Number three, the
Yeah, you had a
crimes
couple
that
of
you are
impassioned
still charged
moments
with, and think of all the civil penalties you have.
And
I'm going to pause it right here because Trump has maybe the best moment of the debate right here.
Play the clip.
Just pay attention to his face as Biden's listing his crime.
Public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant. I mean, what
she was pregnant. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Hold it.
Yeah, I guess
you
I
went
did
over the
do
morals
that
of
one,
an
didn't I?
alley cat line. That's a good line.
Oh no, that's still coming up. That's today. That's a today line.
Okay.
That's still a ways to go.
All right.
Oh man, we got so much Joe.
We got so much Joe.
Hi.
Two hats.
I don't know if I
Should be
can
so
handle
good,
so much Joe anymore.
I love this. This is awesome. I love this. This is what I live for.
Right.
Yeah, well, we got a little history lesson from Joe Biden. We've got some historical facts.
Well, let's hear him.
Two, the idea that we're talking about worst presidents. I wasn't joking. Look it up or go online. 159 or 58, don't hold me the exact number, presidential historians. They've had meetings and they voted who's the worst president in American history. One through best to worst. They said he was the worst in all of American history. That's a fact. That's not conjecture.
Oh, that's so stupid.
You got that right, number 13.
Dude, it's so stupid. Like, I don't agree with that. I think George W. Bush was worse than Trump. Fuck that.
Well,
Like that's so dumb.
But it doesn't know what cares what else.
I think George Bush was more dangerous than Trump, actually, to be honest.
Agreed.
He
Well,
certainly
he
killed
did
a lot more
damage.
people.
Mm-hmm. That's right. What
Well,
else?
not
you
a
got
lot more
for us, buddy?
people. Some more people.
Well, I would say that if we're measuring by how many people you killed, then it's going to be something like FDR or Nixon or somebody like that is the worst president of all time.
No, FDR doesn't count. You don't count FDR in that. He gets absolved.
Maybe it's Harry Truman just by default. I
It
don't know.
might be
I think
Lincoln,
that might
actually.
still- I think
Yeah.
it's still Trump.
Might be.
Could be Lincoln. Right.
Like Trump got millions of people across the world killed.
Hey, so did FDR and Truman. Let's don't undersell them, man.
And Lincoln.
Shorter period of time.
Yeah, you're right. He's killing
COVID
them
killed
faster
so
with
many
his song.
fucking people.
What's your next clip? Bob?
Guys,
Yeah,
I
flip
don't
it
want
up.
to sound woke, but you guys are being racist against Obama.
Well,
Yeah, you're right.
You
I
guys.
totally forgot about him. Oh, you're right, Rod. Yeah. How many people?
I got
did he kill?
Rod's here.
He's right up there.
Now you can't have a Trump appearance without, of course, him bragging about golf.
Follow up, you would be 82 at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. And we made it public. He took none.
He's
I'd
been
like to see
mentioning
him
that
take
a
one,
lot
just one,
lately.
a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took
couldn't do it.
physical exams
This is the
every
best
year.
Joe looks.
And you know, we knock on wood.
Hey,
wherever we lay
smiling?
wood, that I'm in very
Oh
good
no,
health.
he's
Oh, no,
like,
now he looks-
the
oh, no,
drugs
he
are
looks like-
It's not even senior. 2 regular
starting
club
to kick
championships.
in.
To do
Oh,
that,
That's good.
you have to be
That's good.
quite smart, and you have to
He
be able
looked
to
like
hit the ball
Chucky
a long
for a
way,
second.
and I do it.
Looked
He
like he's
doesn't do
actually
it. He
paid
can't hit a
attention.
ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards.
He
I
can't
think
golf
I'm in
as
very
good
good
as me.
shape. I feel that I'm as
He can't
in
hit a
good
ball
shape as
50
I was
yards.
25, 30
Hell,
years
I can
ago,
hit a
and
ball
probably
50
I wish
yards.
they would both just fuck off and go play golf for the rest of their days.
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
this is where he
This
can
is
come in and
awful.
say, I'm too busy to play golf, Donald, but apparently he doesn't.
You would think. You would
you would think. You would think.
You would think he would be standing there like, wow, Donald,
Well,
you
that's-
just gave me this wonderful,
What a gift. Thank you.
wonderful gift of a perfect soundbite.
Right.
Perfect
He really
response
seems like
for
he-
you.
But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced him. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House
I
doctor.
I can't
believe
And then
believe
I
it's so
took another one, a
successful.
similar
Holy
one.
shit.
Wouldn't drop
And
that
both,
name.
one of them said they've never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
President
Oh my
Biden.
God.
Here we go.
You can see he is
Dr.
6'5"
Feelgood.
and only 223 pounds.
See,
or
he really
235
seems
pounds.
like he took the wrong pills.
Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's
Like-
He's
like,
260.
you know,
Well,
Jill's
anyway.
Ambien
He says he is,
and
he
Xanax. I
is.
mean, I just
Look,
assume
I'd be
being
happy to have
when you're a
driving
first
contest
lady.
with him. The
Let's hear
reason
what
I got
Joe
my
said.
handicap,
That.
which when I was vice
You guys aren't going to
president,
hear how good it
down
golf.
to a 6. And by the way,
Oh.
I told you before,
Oh,
I'm happy
I'm
to
a
play
dead
golf if
man.
you carry your own bag.
Yeah, like he seems like he's
He's a
dying,
6 handicap of all.
which is not a
he's not
criticism.
dying.
He is
Six
a very
handicap.
old
He's
man.
dead. He's done been
Wait,
dead for like 3
Wait,
years.
what's
I've seen
what's
you
the-
swing. I know
what's
you
Joe's
swing.
handicap?
Okay,
Let's-
let's
Saying I'll play golf as long
Your
as you
handicap,
carry your
Joe.
own
Let's
bag.
not act like children. Good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a
Wow.
How long does that go on for? How long does the
Just
golf
too-
thing
aced
go on?
it.
The
He
golf
says I
part,
aced it.
it's forever. It felt like it was
I'm curious,
it
like,
was
this
just
is-
2 old men bragging about their golf game while the world burns. I don't.
Yes,
Yeah, but that,
I love
that
that.
go on, was,
Yeah, nail.
go on beyond the clip. Is-
Wow.
It would be
Oh
so
no, the
funny
clip
if it
looped.
weren't.
That was an accident.
Yeah,
Hey,
Okay.
is there another clip?
dystopian.
Oh yeah. This is the last clip of the debate.
Let's-
no political
let's keep
opponents,
this train rolling.
because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up my numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
And a very high level.
Let's see what your numbers are.
What's
when this
unfortunate
election's
about that?
over. Let's see. You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, You
That's-
continued, you
okay.
appealed and appealed
I
to
like that you
courts
call him
all
a
across
whiner.
the country. Not one single court in America said any of your claims had any merit, state or local, none. But you continue to provoke this lie about somehow there's all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There is no evidence of that at all. And I tell you what, I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such a whiner. The idea if you lose again, you accepting anything, you can't stand the loss. Something snapped in you when you lost the last time.
Okay, I like that line.
You give
That
it
is
all.
a
I
great.
do. I kind
That
of
was
like
a pretty,
that too.
pretty. I heard that. That was a pretty good.
Yeah,
Very good line.
I
Now,
kinda like
now,
that.
One. I don't
You're-
want to give him
You're not the
credit,
same
but-
person
If
you
it wasn't
were.
for
You're different.
the colds, which it does kind of sound like he has, it would have, his presentation would have been a lot better. I mean, he still would have had those gaps at the beginning, but he wouldn't have sounded quite so old.
right.
Yeah,
Well,
what
here's
about
the
you?
He is though. He's dead.
He sounds amazing after the debate.
He
It's-
sounds
Oh,
amazing
yeah.
for a dead
And
man.
Okay,
Fox
hold
News
on,
played
hold
it.
on.
But only
Here's
in-
the thing
you're gonna
with
see
with Biden's clips, you can speed it up to 1.5 2 times, and he'd sound better. He talks so slow.
You should try
right?
that.
Like
Yeah.
it's like that
Really should try
Transformers
that.
War for Cybertron series. Jeez.
So you have a
Huh?
clip of them leaving at the end, Forrest?
I have two post. Oh no, I have one from the post
Speed it up.
debate and two from today.
Okay, let's go to the
let's-
post debate first, please.
Let's see how sleepy and tired he was after the debate. Like
After
he
the
must
debate.
be exhausted, right?
Right.
But
You know, I shouldn't say this, but my brother always uses lines from movies. There was a famous movie about John Wayne, and he's working for the northern military, trying to get the Apaches back in the reservation. And they were lying like hell to him. And they're all sitting on a bluff, and John Wayne was sitting with two Indian Apaches.
Oh, this is awful.
Oh,
Looked at
John Wayne's
and
cool
said,
story.
"These guys are nothing but lying, dog-faced pony soldiers."
No,
Oh my fucking god, you're the worst.
I know.
Look, folks, what's going to happen over the next couple of days is they're going to be out there fact checking all the things he said. I can't think of one
Why would
thing
you
he
remind
said
people of
that
that?
was true. No, I'm not being facetious. But look, we're going to beat this guy. We need to beat this guy. And I need you in order to beat him. You're the people I'm running for. Here. He says he's gonna be the retribution for his supporters. You are the reason why America's as good as we are. We're the finest nation in the whole damn world.
Yeah, you should have said the
Easy there,
retribution thing.
Let's keep
Grandpa.
going. Love
Who
you
the hell
all.
was that?
He also has a crowd by
Carolina.
typing him up.
All right.
You know.
Thank you.
Maybe
you,
not
thank
having
you,
an
thank
audience
you.
was bad for everybody,
Yeah.
or just bad for him.
Well, I got to tell you,
Probably mostly him.
dog-faced pony soldier needed a comeback, right?
No, it didn't.
Oh,
It sucks.
yeah.
So
So
But
it's
I mean,
so it's
talking
John
about
Wayne movie.
Apaches
That makes a lot of
lying.
sense.
Oh my!
Yeah, what the fuck? What
What
was
they're trying
that?
to get him back on the what? What were they doing to the Apache? They're trying. Why did you bring? Why does he bring that up? Nobody wants to hear that shit. You sound like
I
you
know.
support genocide, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe.
You're like, hey, real cool guy. I knew John Wayne once said.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
In
And
a
I hate that
movie.
his stupid
No.
fucking supporters were screaming for him for that. Like,
We need you.
I didn't even
No
realize he
bigot
had
and,
like a base, or like, I mean, I wouldn't call it a base because it's probably not that many people, but like supporters that actually get all jazzed about going to see him.
It might be
they were
like
all
a church
paid.
or
They were all
something.
paid to be there.
I think it's not as part of some other event, honestly, or it's like a general. Because what you would do, or what I would think you would want to do, is like get like during another candidate's top on their thing, but
Hate
Oh.
him. He's dead. Dead
because
man.
yeah, I don't think he doesn't have that kind of. But hey,
All right.
there's at least half dozen people in there that
Okay.
really excited.
Ori, you got more clips for you?
Yeah, he's not quite dead because he was in North Carolina today.
Now, folks, I don't know what you did last night, but I spent 90 minutes on the stage debating a guy who has the morals of an alley cat.
Huh.
Who is this winning over?
I guess he said, I mean it sincerely, a new record for the most lies told in a single debate.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, shares up.
And he has seen every debate since Lincoln Douglas.
He bots, killing millions of people. He closed businesses. He closed schools, losing their homes, people all over this country. America's flat on its back. So I told Trump that he was just one of 2 presidents in American history who left office with fewer jobs than he started. Herbert Hoover was the other one. That's why I called him
you remember that?
Herbert Hoover Trump.
You were 10.
That's a good line.
You guys remember how bad it was under
for
Hoover,
veterans. But then I told him how he had called a veteran who had given their lives in the country in World War I and refused to go to the grave sites. He called them suckers and losers. He tried to deny it. But let me ask you, are you going to believe a 4-star Marine general, his own former Chief of Staff, John Kelly, who said he said that? Or a disgraced, defeated, and lying Donald Trump?
I don't want to listen to either one of those assholes.
Well, he still looked like he was out of it, guys, on the stage there.
He looks like a million-year-old man.
I know.
Well, I mean, he knows he's old, Rick. Don't worry.
I know I'm not a young man. State the obvious. Well, I know.
But I've been a senator, and I want you to elect me a senator again.
I don't. Folks, I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth.
Oh, yeah?
But no one hears it. No one hears it.
Hey, Joe, what's charisma?
And I know how to do this job.
That's easy.
I know how to get things done. And I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up.
So he did listen to
it's... Okay, where was that last night?
Well, let me point out one thing here. I'm very inspired by that old man's speech right now. He knows how to get things done. Doesn't that make you better? Doesn't that make you guys feel better? He's got a little more energy today.
Wait, that was him today?
That was today.
Yeah. I just wish there was.
So that was yesterday. You said?
No, that's today.
Today after the debate.
I mean, that kind of
that's what I'm saying.
Sort of makes that sort of it gives more credence to my theory that he took the wrong pills yesterday, and this is him on the right meds. Although, I've been looking at watching people's reactions all day, and surprisingly, like the New York Times and like MSNBC and like David Plouffe have been surprisingly negative, like not undeservingly so, but there have been articles saying, Biden's, it's time for you to wrap it in. And I never want to risk, not being cynical. Optimism is rather dangerous, in my opinion, especially when you're talking about the Democratic establishment. But might this be what gets somebody else perhaps not? I mean, he's already nominated, but might this be something that that gets us somebody who we can depend on to not sundown.
I see what you mean. Rodrigo, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to point out what no one seems to be talking about, that the moderators just let Trump keep talking and talking and talking, and they kept giving him more minutes to reply, and
And they had a mute
Well, it's
button
easy to
yet.
do when your opponent is a dead person.
Well, they didn't moderate. It was they were garbage.
Well, that's once again irrelevant. Like, thank you, Rod. I appreciate that you're bringing that up. Except it doesn't matter because one guy's alive and one guy's dead.
Okay.
In terms of like politics, I agree that politically speaking, his hopes of having a successful campaign are dead.
I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about one person was alive.
For a while. I realize you mean
dead.
literally, and
Yes, I mean literally.
I don't think he's far off.
Now I'm going to die.
Well placed, Forrest.
So I got a question.
Any more
for
clips, Corey?
I got a question for you guys. So does this make you change your mind? Hold on. Does this make you change your mind on who you're going to vote for, or will it change your mind not to vote?
Oh no, I'm dedicated to Robert F.
I don't think it changes anyone.
One at a
Not
time.
unless there's another candidate. Not unless they. Not unless I don't know. Like I hate to say this, but like it would be better than Trump. Like RFK ends up like with
good God
winning. I know. He's nuts, but like he's better than
the
Trump.
brainworms guy.
He's somewhat in favor of limiting money in politics, I believe. Like
no, he's trash across the board. Don't even give him a little bit of credit.
But like the alternative to that is
Cornel West.
I will always vote for the lesser of two evils. So just whoever that ends up being.
Well, if we're talking lesser of two evils, Joe Biden is the lesser of the two evils between RFK and Joe Biden, because RFK is directly responsible for people not getting vaccinated in other countries, leading to kids dying.
Say it, boy. Hell yeah.
Like, fuck that brainworm motherfucker.
Yes, he also considers Trump to be the lesser of two evils between Biden.
He does.
And
Trump. He's the Elon Musk.
Well, again,
I would say in his case, it's more of a less of an evil and more of
dipshittery.
More of a stupid opinion issue. Like I don't like.
Well, if I'm going to go for a stupid person, I'll go for the dead guy.
Yeah.
I don't think Marianne Williams is still in the race, is she?
Is she still running? Marianne Williams?
Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. Trump's going to win this shit.
Nikki
Shush, Rick. Shut your mouth.
Marianne.
Okay. All right, guys.
Shut up.
Okay, I'm going to end this
What's going on?
here.
Oh, no. This has been the best podcast you've ever hosted. How could you end it now?
It really is.
So
this was really excellent. I feel really bad about mine. The one I just started.
Okay. Well, so America, you've got some choices to make in this life. I do know in 2028, your choices will probably be Donald Jr. and Hunter Biden, and which maybe it should be Hunter Biden 2024. You know what? Is Michelle Obama? Oh, sorry, you're stepping on my lines here, Annika.
I'm sorry.
Will Michelle Obama step up? Probably not. Will Oprah? No. Jon Stewart, would you guys draft him? Like, who's going to do this? It's Biden. Jill will run the country while Biden goes for a nap. It'll be fine. I don't think you have anything to worry about. I could be wrong.
That's the most optimistic view, I think.
That's something I should have grabbed. Jon Stewart being just
get decimated by this.
Just decimated by the Biden thing. Because he was yelling that we should replace Biden months ago. And
Yes.
all of the Democrats were like, no.
They should, but I don't think it's going to happen. But
So,
yeah, of
there,
course they should.
so one thing to come
Go
out
ahead,
of this
Annika.
is that Hunter Biden must be relieved that he is no longer the embarrassment of the Biden family. Like the weight's off his
No, that
shoulders.
still remains to be Beau Biden, the most embarrassing Biden there ever was. And I'm glad he's dead.
Too soon, Rick. Too soon.
You know, technically speaking, Donald Trump shouldn't even be close to the White House now after what's all happened, right? But he's
Remember when he took all those?
He's very close. Go ahead.
Because
I was going to say, he took all those boxes of shit out of the White House to Mar-a-Lago, and the FBI shows up. They're like, hey, you got any boxes of shit here? And he's like, I don't think I have any boxes of shit here. And then they're like, well, you let our man go to the restroom there, and he found a whole bunch of your boxes of shit. And he's like,
we're in the bathroom.
I'm pretty sure it was cool if I took those. I don't know what your problem is.
Okay, so we beat this issue to death. Anybody got anything else to say before we close it out?
Reminder
free
that
Palestine.
I think it was.
I do think it's important
to have the debate.
Okay, Rodrigo, go ahead.
a reminder that it came out that the CIA under Trump and later under Biden was spreading COVID misinformation to get people sick in China and East Asia to make sure that they distrusted the Chinese vaccine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, from what I understand, the Chinese vaccine was like if our vaccine is like 80% effective, theirs was like 75 or 65%. So like
pretty good.
So yeah, it was like it wasn't as good, but it was definitely better than nothing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Well, I just.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I think it is just the moderators thing is important, just because like if you had better moderators, you could force like better interactions or answers out of people.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Potentially.
Because, the moderators weren't good. And today, Rachel Maddow was really coping, saying that he started off slow, but he came on strong towards the end. That's our Joe. Okay.
You know what? We saw those clips of post-debate and then today. And while he looks slightly more energetic, he still sounds demented.
Well, you could say that about both.
Well,
So I'm going to just close it out and say thank you for the panel for this lively discussion. And I don't know what America is going to do, and that's the problem.
If I may offer a suggestion,
Sure.
Claudia de la Cruz is running as an actual socialist.
Wow. Didn't she win already? That's in Mexico, right?
No, in the United States, Claudia de la Cruz.
Okay, and is she running it for president?
Yeah, for the PSL.
Wow, never knew that. Okay, vote for her. I don't know. I'm a Canadian. I don't know who you're going to vote for.
If you live in a blue
affects us
state,
up here very bad.
if you live in a blue state, vote for whoever you want. If you live in a swing state, vote for stupid dead Biden.
And sandwich.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.